Alright, Skull and Roses.
Skull and Roses.
Yeah, the name's not even on the cover. Oh, on some of the sides.
It's right here and right there. It's right here too, and it's right there.
Okay. It's not on the top.
Yeah. Oh, it's also on the back too.
If I was in the store, let's say I was in the store looking at it, I just saw the cover sitting on the shelf, I would expect to find this at, I don't know, Spencer's or...
Well, yeah, something like that.
Motorcycle shop. I mean, it's about motorcycle gangs, but the theme is very unique. But the theme has absolutely nothing to do with the game.
No, none whatsoever.
Unless motorcycle gangs are always bluffing each other. Maybe that's the tie-in. It's a bluffing game.
Have no idea.
Some people describe it as liar's dice with cards. I think that's kind of a close description.
With coasters.
With coasters. Let's look at it. Each player in the game gets one of these coasters, which has roses or skull on it, places it in front of themselves, and then takes a set of these coasters for whatever gang they're from. And you can see they have that cheesy gang artwork. And this is the actual cover of the Werewolves from Asmodee, which now makes more sense looked at in this light. But when you take these four, you'll see in the back, one of them is a skull, and the other three are roses. So players take theirs. So let's say we're watching a 4-player game. Each player has their coaster in front of them, like this. And then at the beginning of each round, players will each place one of their other round coasters on top. Then, starting with the first player can either challenge or he can place from his hand another coaster on these. Now this can keep happening until one of the players decides to challenge. So let's say Panthers challenges at this point. Panthers would say, okay, I say 2. And he's basically saying he can turn over 2 tiles without revealing a skull. Werewolf says, I can definitely do 3. Snake says 4. Eagle says, no way, passes. Panther passes. Werewolf says 5. And Snakes passes. Okay, so Werewolf wins the bid. The first thing he has to do is flip over both of his own. Or however many you have on your own. Okay, they're both roses. So that's 2. But he needs 5 because that was his bid. So he will slowly turn them over one at a time from other people's. Now here he turned over a skull, so he has lost the bet. If he had turned over this eagle one, he would have been fine. But there he would have turned over a skull too. He could have turned over this rose, and another rose, and a third rose, and he could have got them that way. And so you have to guess who has a skull. He failed. So when you fail, if the skull is in your own pile, because you fail because of bluffing or some reason, then you pick one of these and you discard it. If you failed from drawing it from someone else's, we shuffle them and one of them's taken out. So now you're left with only 3 coasters, which could certainly change the game. Or you could lose more than that. If you're correct, you will turn your coaster from skulls to roses. If you have it on roses and you're correct, you win the game. And that's basically the whole gist of the game, is just out bluffing other people, putting the skull down and trying to get someone else to bid higher so that they draw your skull, or not putting the skull down and trying to simply win, and guess who else is doing the same thing. I think this game is fantastically fun. I love the feeling of flipping over. I'm pretty bad at bluffing in every game in the world, but I still like doing it. And I like the idea of flipping them over and trying to get somebody else to call it when you know for sure that you have a skull in your own pile. And then as you lose them, did you get rid of a skull? Did you not get rid of a skull? That's kind of interesting. The game just has a very unique feel, although it also does have the idea of liar's dice and games like that. But I enjoy it, and the components are pretty cool. Flipping coasters around is more fun than flipping cards.
Wow. Well, as you can see from my facial expressions while he was talking, I do not agree with Tom at all. Given the choice between playing this game and shoving an ice pick repeatedly under each of my fingernails, I would probably choose the ice pick under the fingernails.
There we go.
Because
you would
this,
not.
Yeah, well, okay, it's extreme. It's extreme. I understand that. But you get the picture. I'll sit out if this hits the table again. It's only a 10 or 15 minute wait, so that's fine with me. At the very least, if you choose to disagree with me, you will have simply bought yourself an expensive set of coasters. And they are good coasters. They're nice. They'll work well.
Although it might be out of place in some living rooms.
Yeah, well, some living rooms, yeah. I don't think the wife will like many of these, but not fun in my estimation at all.
All right. Well, ignoring that, I was going to say ignorant, not ignorant. That incorrect opinion.
Wow.
I think it's fun. I think it has a really good sweet spot with 4 players. It can go up to, it can go up to 6. I don't know. I just get a kick out of it, and it's fast and fun. So take it as it will. So I'll give it 1.8 thumbs up.
1.8?
1.8.
Almost 2 thumbs?
Almost 2.
I'm giving this no thumbs. Don't waste your time.
So no thumbs down?
No thumbs at all. This doesn't deserve the energy that it takes to put a thumbs down.
All right.
That's my opinion. And with that and about 50 cents, you might be able to get yourself a coffee. But that's...
They've already turned the video off at this point.
My final word, probably. So.
We'll see you next time.